Hey planners, Al from onemanmanyplans.com.au. Welcome to the latest video where today we're going to take one of these and explain why it is so much better to roll your own schnitzels. So late last year through the blog, onemanmanyplans.com.au, I wrote a big article about things I thought and felt you shouldn't be skimping on at the supermarket. They're all foodstuffs, and while the cheaper, lower tier versions will save you money, and while it's very important, probably now more in 2024 than ever before, to budget, in a lot of these cases, the cheaper versions just weren't as flavorful or worth buying, in some cases, for the fact that they had no flavor whatsoever. Prime candidate has got to be cheap carbonara sauce. We actually made spaghetti carbonara the other night. Well, I did for the family, and I was reminded of the glue-like texture and the lack of any flavor whatsoever. I actually threw in extra salt, extra cheese, and egg, some more milk in there because it came out the consistency of glue from the jar, and it tasted, I didn't eat clad glue during school as a kid, but I can only guess that this carbonara sauce was pretty much close to it. I reckon I could actually stick a couple of things together with this sauce. It was that bad. And it just reminded me of things that, while you will save some coin, can be so much better when you try to make them yourself. Carbonara sauce is obviously one of them. But the other one that I was introduced to, and this was over Christmas last year, is thanks to my brother. Now, my brother Guy is an amazing graphic artist, but he's also an absolutely brilliant home cook. And my family spent Christmas with his beautiful family, his beautiful partner, and their gorgeous kids. And we ate and drank like absolute royalty. Like seriously, we were spoiled rotten with the food stuff that we had. A lot of it cooked from scratch. He is an absolutely masterful cook. And one night I watched him make hand-crafted chicken schnitzels. Now, if you're new to the world of schnitzels, it is a flattened out bit of chicken. It is coated in breadcrumbs at its very basic level. It is fried in oil. You serve it with chips. You serve it with veggies. 9 times out of 10, if I want a chicken schnitzel, I will go to a pub and hope that I get one that takes up at least 3/4 of the plate. You know, those Chernobyl-style chickens, those mutant monster chicken breasts that they flattened out and crumbed and deep fried, and oh, it just tastes so good because you got that crunch on the outside. You hopefully have some juicy chicken on the inside. You've got some chips on the side as well, maybe a gravy, perhaps a Parmigiana on top of it. Plenty of variations. You know, you've got the Hawaiian, you've got the Bushmans, you've got the sour cream, the Mexican Parma, all of those kinds of things. But it's, at its base level, it is crumbed chicken. And for a long time, up until Christmas, I've been buying my crumbed chicken from the deli at my local supermarket. And if you've been doing that like I have, you know that it just doesn't look as good or anywhere near the same as a pub schnitzel. Firstly, it's not the same size. Secondly, it's certainly not the same shape. Interestingly, the supermarket where I shop occasionally has heart-shaped schnitzels, something different, oval usually. But the problem is, you know that similar to chicken nuggets and how they're made, a lot of these deli schnitzels are actually reconstituted chicken. So it's like chicken, what do you call it? Broken down to base level and made into a paste and then solidified into a schnitzel shape. It's okay, but it's certainly no pub schnitzel. And thanks to watching Guy in action, that inspired us to actually try making our own schnitzels. And that's what we're doing today. I'm not going to go through a full cooking lesson. I'm just going to explain how watching him in action has actually changed one of the staples in my family, because we love our bolognese, we love our carbonara, we love our schnitzels, and we love them even more since we've broken out the hammer and started making our own. And that's where we start. The hammer cost me $10. It's available at Woolworths. It's a meat mallet. It's probably got another name for that. If it does, and I've missed any of them, please let me know in the comments below. But this thing, since I bought it, has got a lot of use, and it's purely for hammering out schnitzels. We get chicken thigh breast. We literally hammer it out, good to go. And then once we've got a nice bit of flattened out chicken, about half an inch or less thin, then you douse it in egg. You know, you crack an egg, you whip up an egg. douse the chicken in it, throw it in the crumbs, and away you go. Now that's a very, very basic crumbed schnitzel. Guy, on the other hand, loves his herbs and spices and inspired me to try different flavors. But even better, for both my birthday and my wife's birthday, we actually share the same birthday, uncannily, just 2 years apart, he actually sent through some goodies. So let me get the gift box that he sent through. Now, obviously, this is not the be-all and end-all of things to put into your own crumbed schnitzel, but it's certainly an absolutely epic start. And we start with the crumbs. Panko breadcrumbs, have been using them a lot. Oh, they are so good. You can get normal breadcrumbs. You can make your own breadcrumbs with a food processor if you want. But seriously, I reckon try the Asian section of your local supermarket. See if they've got panko breadcrumbs. Give that a go, because it is just so crispy and they do so well in the hot oil. So panko breadcrumbs, thank you, Guy. I appreciate it. We were just about running short on ours. He's also given us tip-top crummies. Now, I've never used crummies. These are special breadcrumbs. Easy pour, grill it, bake it, fry it. Homemade seasoned stuffing for chicken, turkey, or pork. Geez, that sounds all right. For a golden crunchy top on fish or lamb mixed with herbs and grain mustard. Yeah, now we're talking. Ideal for a roasted golden brown topping on apple strudel or coating for a crispy banana fritter. Okay, might have to make dessert. For a crunchy top on bakes, macaroni cheese, cauliflower cheese bake. There's a few suggestions on the back of the box, but obviously he's been using them for schnitzels. And now, thanks to his care package, we actually have some crummies. So awesome. Going to give crummies a go. Maybe a 50-50 mix, crummies and panko. Oregano leaves. Did not have that in our pantry before, but certainly do now. And these will go great with bolognese too. So with the spices, he's suggesting a couple of tablespoons in the mix of breadcrumbs. So a couple of tablespoons of all those spices that he's nominated in the bread mix. He's also used parmesan as well, so that's handy. What else we got? Cracked pepper? Cracked pepper. Just reminds me of that Hale and Pace skit. You'll have to look for it because it's not worth explaining. It's better to see it in person. It's probably on YouTube. But cracked pepper certainly will go great guns in a schnitzel, nice and flavored. My kids don't actually like spice. Well, one of them does. Sophie doesn't. So I'm going to be making schnitzels tonight. I don't think I'll be adding cracked pepper to that one, but that's fine. That's for dads and mums and Jack's schnitzel. This is an interesting one. I didn't remember him using this the last time he made it, but sesame seeds. Sesame seeds in the schnitzel, and I guess it's a texture thing. So just a couple of tablespoons of that in the breadcrumb mix. Obviously, it'll stick to the egg on the chicken, ready to go. And finally, one spice that gets a lot of love in my house. I have both the smoky version, which is what he supplied here in his box of goodies, but also the sweet paprika. Obviously, it is capsicum, dried up capsicum, if you had no idea what paprika was, but goes great guns with it. And it's that nice red coating as well. So a couple of teaspoons of that and bang, off you go. The very first time that I tried this crumb schnitzel, after literally just watching him do this for about 20 minutes to make them all up and then crumb them and fry them up and serve them up, I was so impressed with the first time I did this because it truly was crunchy on the outside and really, really juicy on the inside. And I think what helped a lot was actually about ½ inch of oil, vegetable oil in the pan, nice and hot. You throw your schnitzels in, you fry them to get good color on both sides, and then you bung it in the oven for the last 5 minutes. And I think that resting at 180 degrees, I'm not sure what that is in Fahrenheit. Someone will have to convert it for me down in the comments below. But that was enough to make it really, really juicy on the inside. So I'm really super keen to give this a whirl and see how it goes tonight. But I suggest this is one of those things that you try that if you promise yourself, oh, I want to eat better, or I want to try and learn a few more cooking techniques, or I want to try something different. Hand crumbed schnitzels really aren't that hard to make, but it's a world of difference from the stuff you get from the supermarket and the stuff you get from the deli. So give it a crack, see how you go. Guy, thank you so much again for boosting up my herbs and spices collection. It is really starting to grow now. And when in doubt, when you're looking for cooking inspiration, find someone who just cooks almost naturally and just watch them. See if you can get invited around to their house for dinner or Christmas, even better. Pick up a few tips and it'll do wonders for what you create in the kitchen. Anyway, that is today's plan. I'm off to go cook. I will talk to you soon. Take care.